I bet y'all forgot these guys were part of the story. Yeah, for how cool the Brazen Beasts appear with that veil of mystery, they don't really get their time to shine in the books. In Game of Thrones, they don't even exist during the Meereen storyline. Instead, they gave their aesthetic over to the Sons of the Harpy, who they are actively fighting against. The masks that conceal the identities of the Harpy sons are kind of what the Brazen Beasts are described as wearing in the books, but with a twist. After Daenerys easily takes Meereen under her rule, the nobles that lost the capability of slaving, which most of their economy and power is built upon, they decide to revolt by assassinating her fighters and supporters in the shadows. In one night, 6 of her Unsullied and 3 freedmen were murdered without any clues left behind leading back to the culprit. Her 8,000 Unsullied army is her most useful asset at the time, until she can control her dragons. Losing the Unsullied on patrols is not an option, so she decides to form a new policing city watch. In the early pages of A Dance with Dragons, she says, "I will have no more Unsullied slaughtered. Grey Worm, pull your men back to their barracks. Henceforth let them guard my walls and gates in person. From this day it shall be for the Meereenese to keep the peace in Meereen. Skahaz, make me a new watch, made up in equal parts of Shapehates and freedmen. As you command. How many men? As many as you require." We never get a solid number as to how many Brazen Beasts Skahaz brought into this rank. They're nothing like the Unsullied, who went through hellish training during their entire youth and had to be tested to get their title. You just need a cool mask with some sort of weapon on you. Skahaz Mo Kondak was one of the noblemen in Meereen, but was down with Dany's conquest. He showed his loyalty by shaving off all his hair, which is a big deal for the nobles. He got the name of the Shave-Pate for this, and started the trend of people shaving their heads, signifying their acceptance of the new rule. They would also be called the Shave-Pates. Skahaz being one of the first nobles to join her cause, it didn't take long for him to be part of Dany's inner circle and council. He was trusted enough to form a city watch at a time where no one from Meereen could be trusted. Calling yourself a Brazen Beast is a weird self-flattering title, which I guess is necessary to intimidate while staying anonymous. It has the double meaning of being made of brass and being shamelessly bold. Their enemies in the Shadow War are targeting specific people from afar, using crossbows or poison, so the safest bet is to hide your face. There's been over 24 different animals used as masks, varying from sloths to locusts to bulls. The Brazen Beasts instantly became labeled as traitors in the eyes of the Harpy sons and became the focus of their attacks. The Sons of the Harpy have no Harpy masks in the books. Well, not that we know of yet, because none of them have been caught. Having Brazen Beasts in the story could have helped some of the Season 5 show moments in Meereen with the pacing. It could have benefited a lot from an added layer of complexity, because even to this day, I still see a lot of comments about Barristan Selmy's pointless death at the hands of the Harpy sons. After building up how badass Barristan and the Unsullied are, it's hard to view the Sons of the Harpy as a credible threat. The Brazen Beasts versus the hidden Sons of the Harpy is a far more believable Shadow War. The Brazen Beasts are very flawed in comparison to the Unsullied. Barristan's perspective on them says it all. Half of these Brazen Beasts are untried freedmen, and the other half are Meereenese of doubtful loyalty. That's just one of the flaws. If the entire organization is masked, and they aren't required to keep wearing the same disguise each day, that's just asking for infiltration attempts. Once again, it would be Barristan to bring clarity to the situation, the most qualified guard in the story. A mask can hide many things, Your Grace. Is the man behind the owl mask the same owl who guarded you yesterday and the day before? How could we know? The answer is they don't. This is Dany's first attempt at ruling, so some slip-ups like this are bound to happen. But things have been going rough so far in Slaver's Bay. A culture that revolves around slaving isn't going to give up without a fight. Daenerys is still a teenager currently in the books, and her best advisor is a girl even younger than she is, her scribe Missandei. Barristan's entire long life serving royals only fine-tuned his skills in battle and sentry duty. Even he knows he's a simple man that can't help with much else. Who knows what the Shave-Pate's experience was before joining her? He was rich and powerful, but that doesn't qualify you to command over an entire city's law enforcement. It's hard to say whether the Brazen Beasts feel any sort of loyalty towards Dany. What's only shown to us is how loyal they are to Skahaz. Some of the men are not even actually from Meereen. The ones fit enough to fight that followed her from the other slaver cities she freed, either from Astapor or Yunkai, have also picked up some animal masks. The only level of defense against potential infiltrations is a password that seems to change from time to time. Not strong enough when the Sons of the Harpy are so efficiently picking off Dany's allies without a single one being caught. And we get to see just how weak this system put in place is in the 68th chapter of A Dance with Dragons, one of the more wild moments in this book. Quentyn Martell, firstborn son of the Prince of Dorne, secretly travels to Meereen in hopes to win over Dany's hand in marriage. By this time of the story, she's already betrothed to his Darzol Rock, and she doesn't find Quentyn all that impressive anyways. Quentyn and his group are easily able to get their hands on some of the Brazen Beasts' masks and walk right into the Queen's Pyramid, the seat of power. Within were 3 long hooded cloaks made from myriad small squares of cloth sewn together. 3 cudgels, 3 short swords, 3 masks, polished brass, a bull, a lion, and an ape. Everything required to be a Brazen Beast. The Brazen Beasts guarding the entrance heard the password dog and just let the invaders in. Quentyn and his group then let in some more allies from another door, totaling their numbers to 9. Shows how easy it is to get that close to Dany. They walked right up to where the 2 dragons were being kept, and this is where we finally see what the Brazen Beasts are capable of. Quentyn's goal is to tame one of the dragons, believing his drop of Targaryen blood in his family line would be enough to do it. But the password dog didn't work at this entrance into the dragon pit. This immediately instigated a fight between 4 Brazen Beasts against Quentyn and 8 of his men. We see how well they perform in a fight while guarding Dany's 2 dragons locked up deep within her pyramid. It was 9 against 4, well 8 against 4, because Quentyn was beyond useless, only getting in the way. Without taking out a single person, all 4 Brazen Beasts were quickly disposed of, and that's with one of them wearing a basilisk mask, being considered a sergeant. Losing while being outnumbered that badly is understandable, but they all went down immediately without putting up any real fight. Barristan Selmy was right, but he's too busy training a group of squires to be knights to focus on them. They are far from Dany's unsullied army. Quentyn compares the two and finds courage sneaking into her pyramid when the Brazen Beasts are on guard duty instead of the Unsullied. Quentyn's dumb plan ended horribly with him getting burned alive thanks to Rhaegal's dragonfire. But with how poorly the Brazen Beasts acted during this breach, the dragons were able to escape the pyramid and now roam freely around the city. Dany, now lost to Drogon, Hizdahr is acting as the new ruler of Meereen. One of his first acts as king was to dismiss the Shafe-Pay as commander of the Brazen Beasts and appoint his own cousin. Skahaz Kondak is seen as a traitor to the nobles, and it seems like there was some previous animosity between the Lorak family and Kondak family. Changing their commander didn't affect their loyalty, however. Skahaz has always believed, or claims to believe, that Hizdahr is the true Harpy ordering all these murders. Even after his removal, Skahaz orders the Brazen Beasts to follow Hizdahr's every move and report back to him. Before getting the chance to perfect their fighting skills, Skahaz has the entire organization enter the world of surveillance work, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job at it. They've also been informing him of all the ongoings within the pyramid, while he no longer has a place here. But Skahaz is doing his own espionage work himself, thanks to the flaw in the Brazen Beasts. With all the men's loyalty, he is free to walk among them within the pyramid, as long as he keeps a mask on to remain unnoticed. Things progress to 29 assassinations in a single night by the hands of the Harpy sons by the end of the last book, with each corpse left with a Harpy insignia to mark who was responsible. Still, not a single one captured by the Brazen Beasts, who are formed for the sole purpose of ending these attacks during the Shadow War. The Sons of the Harpy now have the courage to start killing during the day. If it wasn't for Skahaz, who does have some interesting qualities about him, the Brazen Beasts would be seen as Game of Thrones' stormtroopers. It's unlikely they will follow Daenerys forward as her character develops in the Seven Kingdoms. If they were formed to protect Meereen, Meereen is probably where they will remain. Would love to hear what your thoughts are on the future of these guys, and if they have an important role yet to play. But that's all. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all later.